Nyozo, papa échouera jamais, papa toujours vainqueur, papa soulage à opprimé, papa boyaga injustice, papa boyaga monter mama bé, papa bien, bien, papa bien, bien. Baladame combina, baladame capelena, baladame.
To my beautiful and amazing royals of Africa, Bolwani, my dear people, this is your queen, Ngningone II of the 17th generation crown queen of the Fangs and of the Diasporan Africans, also known as the Immortals. Welcome, 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 my dear children, to Nubia, the path to return, the home of the African royals. So if you're watching me for the first time, Bolwani, my name is Queen Ngningone. I'm the host here at Nubia, the path to return. If you like my vibe, stick around. I promise you, you will learn something. Now, to my returning and amazing royals of Africa, welcome back. Thank you, my dear children, for tuning in for another video with your queen. Thank you for your likes on all my videos. Thank you for your shares. And thank you for your comments. All right, my dear children. Those of you blessing me with your amazing donations, thank you. May you never lack. Those of you sending kind messages, prayers, and everything, may you never lack, as you do for your queen. Zambia shall always remember you. Welcome back. My dear children, Bolwani, what are we talking about today? Today we are freestyling with the queen, okay? We are going to talk about whatever the ancestors lead me to talk to you about. Okay, my children? So here we go. Many of you have probably heard of the 2 coup attempts in Burkina Faso recently. They're trying to overthrow Munkozi Captain Ibrahim Traoré.
And our breaking news that's just in. Burkina Faso, 3 soldiers are arrested on suspicion of plotting to overthrow the government.
The 3 militants have been arrested and presented to an investigating judge who has arrested and indicted them on charges of military and criminal conspiracy, disobeying commands, conspiracy against the security of the state and endangering the lives of others.
Now, according to a researcher and journalist on security and governance in West Africa, when it comes to coup attempts against the country's leader, Ibrahim Traoré we haven't seen the last of it.
Now, for those of you who keep up with what's going on in Africa, you could see that Captain Ibrahim Traoré is born to set his country free. All right? The queens of the Faso's wombs are still producing lions. How do you know that someone is a born lion? That's how we call them. We've had Thomas Sankara from that very same country. And until today, we are mourning Thomas Sankara. I had the biggest crush on the man. I used to tell my dad I will marry him when I grow up, because he just came and defied the slave master relationship we had with France. So there's nothing more sexy to me in a man that risked it all to set us free. So this is how we know who's a lion. Lions, by the way, are kings. All right. So Tata Nzambe has blessed them again with another lion who has successfully kicked the French out, banned the French media. I mean, he's reorganizing his country. You know, he's following the legacy of his forefather, Thomas Sankara.
So guys, the youngest, the smartest and visionary president in Africa, Captain Ibrahim Traoré, the president of Burkina Faso, has now signed a contract with the Iran president to build an oil refinery in Burkina Faso. What a smart move. Because Iran is part of the top 10 most largest oil production country in the world. And they are ready to build the oil refinery in Burkina Faso. Look at the news. The news said Iran ready to build oil refinery, exports technical engineering services to Burkina Faso, oil minister, September 5th, 2023. Iran Minister of Oil said domestic engineers and experts are ready to build an oil refinery in Burkina Faso and also export technical and engineering services to the African country.
An African version of NATO has just emerged. Yesterday, Niger, Mali, and Burkina Faso signed a military defense agreement. The charter, known as the Alliance of Sahel States, bind the three nations to help each other out defensively. Quote, any attack on the sovereignty and territorial integrity of one or more contracted parties will be considered an aggression against the other parties. Essentially, NATO Article 5, but for the three Sahelian states. Mali's Defense Minister Abdoulaye Diop says, quote, this alliance will be a combination of military and economic efforts between the three countries. What are my thoughts on this? So we essentially have a bottom-up, socialist, revolutionary, independent West African military alliance. Independent, meaning they are not controlled by the West. This is every revolutionary's dream. This is so huge. I don't think people understand how huge this is. They control a territory of 2.78 million square kilometers. That's 4 times the size of Ukraine. 70 million people, 85% of them are Muslim. ECOWAS cannot attack this state. Not a chance in hell. France cannot launch a war on this state. Niger is hurting a lot from economic sanctions when Nigeria's president, Bola Tinubu, Africa's biggest puppet leader, cut the electricity grid. So parts of Niger is without electricity. If they can parry the economic sanctions, this is going to be huge.
So as you could see, there's a coalition forming in Africa between Mali with Ngningone Goïta and Burkina Faso with Ngningone Traoré and Niger with Ngningone Chiani. So these three kings alone have successfully kicked French out. So basically, they are reclaiming the true independence of their land and their people. You know, they're kicking the common enemy out. They're doing very honorable things. You think you guys in the diaspora have to walk around like being mistreated by everybody else around? It's because your home base, the land of your ancestors, the land you come from, is still under European control. So what respect can anybody give us? So as you could see, my children, these kings are doing an amazing job at home, but and yet some of us feel that no, an independent Mali is not good. We have to put Mali back in the hand of French. An independent Burkina Faso is not good. No, we have to put it back in the hand of the French. An independent Niger is not what we want. We want to go back to becoming slave. See, my people, that's the biggest problem with us. When some of us are fighting toward dignity, respect, and freedom, other ones of us feel that we're better off as slaves. And that's the problem. Let me show you an image, a picture of the idiots who think that Burkina Faso shouldn't be free. No, it should be resubmitted to the masters.
These are the soldiers that attempted to overthrow Ibrahim Traoré. Guys, what are your thoughts? Do you think next time they will succeed? Drop a comment respectfully.
This is the main problem with us. We as African, black people worldwide, we operate under this curse. The curse of division. Yes, it has become a curse because we were fed jealousy and hatred by our parents, in particular our mothers. Now our generation, the generation who's set to awaken, we're looking around and we're seeing a lot of things that our men are doing, and we identify our own behavior in our men's behavior these days. Our men are now gossipers. You see them gossip like women. Yeah. Who taught them that? Because they were raised around women. Our men are now backstabbers. They talk about their friends like women gossip about the friends they're jealous of. So you find all this behavior. The African women, They love to compete. They're innately jealous, innately competitive. So they teach that to their children, whether they're male or female. So, and then you would see that, you see that even in social media and stuff. You say something, you make a post, a kid, our daughters, you see these little teenager, early 20s, they will engage you as if you're their age mate. They see your profile, they see your face on your video, they know you old enough to be their mother, but they will engage you because women just have no respect when they were not trained, when they were not raised by a strong structure behind them. So we feed that to our sons. So when they're with their fellow man, they forget that in life, in everything, there's ranks. My children, just like I covered in a previous video, there's ranks in everything. Some of us are born to lead. Some of us are born to be the support system of those who are born to lead. Some of us are born to elevate somebody else. Watch the movie, The Lord of the Ring. They're teaching their kids very valuable lesson. You see, there was Sam, and then there was Frodo. Frodo was the ring bearer. Let's call Frodo the king. He had a very important mission to take that ring to that volcano and destroy it. So he had a very important mission, and Sam was what we call our priest, the support system. So Sam understood that it is not my role to carry the ring. If I do, it will consume me, just like Smeagol. Smeagol was all about taking that ring from Frodo, but Sam was all about protecting the ring and protecting Frodo, because Sam knew that Frodo was the one with the anointing to carry the ring and destroy it. So you could see in their movies and stuff, they teach their children, and you could see that among them, the European, they have that discipline. They don't all try to be king. Their mothers are submissive by nature. So they taught that to their children, that somewhere you have to recognize the authority in your midst. I'm the queen of truth. When credit is due, you have to give credit. So they have that understanding, they have that structure. You would see them when they will identify who their leader is, and all of them will rally behind that one. Now the leader could be a complete fool, but if the leader has the strength, the anointing, and they recognize that, they will support that leader, aka Donald Trump. They're like, we can't dare say the things he is saying. We miss the America where we had full dominion on these Negroes. We want to go back to that America. We want to make it great again. We want to go to our full supremacy. They found a candidate that could voice it, who could articulate it, and they all lined up behind him and made him almost a messiah. Our people don't have that discipline. If it was just something that a value we lost during slavery, Africa wouldn't still be struggling. Our mothers taught their son competition. They taught their son disrespect. They taught their son rivalry. They taught their son to go above what the father is saying. In Africa, they don't dare do that, in front of the men, because they know they may get their butt kicked for that. But they do it behind the man's back. They go, a lot of women, they go and put nonsense in the ears of the son. They murmur to the son that the son is better than the father, to make them jump over the father's authority. I found a little clip to just illustrate that. Okay, let's watch this.
She's 16 years old, talking about she pregnant.
Okay.
She not even out of high school yet.
She gonna be okay?
Man, look, I don't need all this pressure right now. You know what I'm saying? I don't need that.
You're not even here. What pressure?
What are you talking about? I am here. I work. I work 12 hours a day to put a roof over your head. But you never here. You over there with somebody else. Now you bringing back something in the oven.
What?
Come on now.
First of all, it's not even that serious. You're really just making a big deal out of
so
it
it's
because
funny.
you want to hear yourself fuss.
Oh, it's funny now. It's funny.
I'm sorry, Dad.
I mean, you out there with him too. You acting like you John too.
What you mean?
That's why she run around here like that, because
Don't
you
do that.
still.
So don't do that. Okay, you're not going to do too much because y'all have me at the same age.
So you see how they secretly or directly wage war on the authority. So it starts in the house. If you can't respect the authority at home, you won't respect the authority at school. You won't respect the authority at work. You won't respect the authority in society, period. And that's the problem we have. Around us, we identify true leaders. People Tata Nzambe anointed, gave the baton to speak on our behalf, to carry out the fight on our behalf and everything. But somewhere through our brokenness, no, we believe that we can do it better than him at all costs, even if it means to side with the enemy of our people. Now that's deep. And we wonder why we're being treated the way we are being treated. Now tell me, my children, what kind of respect such group of people deserve? What kind of honor such group of people deserve? If they can unite, even when they're facing existential threats, we don't deserve any respect from anybody. As long as we feel that we should go after the strongest ones of us, we should bring them down, we should tackle them, we should, do every and anything to put a stop to their divinely appointed mission. We deserve no mercy from nobody, not even from the God of our ancestors, Tata Nzambe. So it comes back to us. What values are we teaching in our households? We need to start looking around and identifying what we do wrong. We are responsible of healing this. And let me start with the queens. Queens, you have the responsibility to pick up wherever your mother-in-law left off. Whatever she failed to teach her son is your responsibility to teach him. Now that you married to him, he's now under your spiritual authority, just like you are under his. So when you catch him acting like a little girl, check him. Say, no. That thing you always do, you talk to your friend on the phone and yet you come and badmouth about him. If you feel some kind of way about what he's doing, talk to him like a man, like a brother. Check him, okay? When he lacks emotional regulation, tell him, I never seen my father yell at my mother. I never seen my father put my mother down because he was too much of a man for that. Check him, because we have to constantly grow. You shouldn't act the same way you were acting 3 months ago. You must have grown to a slightly better version of yourself. So how do we defeat that spirit of jealousy, that spirit of envy? We defeat it by start practicing self-love, okay? Narcissistic people have a very low self-esteem, all right? Our conquerors and enslavers and captors, they are narcissistic people. And those of us who were successfully made slaves are narcissists like their former masters. What do I mean by that? They have an inflated sense of self. These are the main ones you would hear get on the street corner and tell everybody how better than Africans they are. Because they have an inflated sense of self. You would hear them make statement that they're smarter than African. They look better than African, that they're more intelligent, they're more Pan-Africanist, they're more this, they're more that. They have an inflated sense of self. But if you look deep into their reasoning, they are the perfect slaves. The ones who have lost sense of self and track of who they are, to the point that they have subconsciously and unconsciously become their former masters. That's why they love staying in their school, get all the degree they can. Because once they get that validation, remember that piece of paper is the validation by whomever murdered your father, made you a slave, and taught you his language and culture. So once you get that stamp of approval, when you come around your fellow African, you feel you're greater than them. So that inflated sense of self is basically masking a deep wound. Someone who doesn't know who his father is, someone who doesn't know his purpose in life, someone who doesn't know what his name is, someone who doesn't know what his culture is. And instead of working on getting all these things back, he choose or she choose to resent and hate that which he choose or she choose to resent and hate that which he truly wish he had. That's why our children in America, those who were successfully made slave, okay, went to Liberia and applied the blueprint of slavery their master gave them on the African people. They stripped them down of that name they wish they had, because the master told them, now go to your homeland and make more slaves over there. Okay? We got you. You know, you should be grateful. We taught you our cruelty. We taught you to hate yourself. Mind you, these are the same people, their kings put money in their pocket to come and attack Africans so that they could have something to. Their kings established them in the new land. Instead of just paying the taxes to the king, they bore weapon and murder their own people to become their own. So they taught that hatred to our children. So they sent them on an excursion to Africa to found a country called Liberia. That's the narcissists, you know. Those the master have made slaves, because among us, there are broken Negroes who are slaves, and they are the royals who stood through that fire and resisted it all and still came back as a proud African. You can't tell them nothing. Even if they don't have the name, even if they don't speak any of the language, they are African and proud. I see you royals out there roaring. So you see the difference. So once the enemy has fully conquered you to make you him, that's it. Even your soul, he took it and replaced it with his, going around disowning themselves. Because when you go out and say you're greater than your forefathers, so you are denying the inheritance that they build up all their generation. You are accepting your status as a slave because your existence starts with your life in America. Everybody else in Africa, they're stupid, they're idiot. But you forget that the first Pan-African was the first king who fell under the European fire because he stood for Africa. To me, my forefathers, those of you who don't know your fathers, and as a result of which you have no respect for the African man. My forefathers were the first Pan-Africans. All these found kings and their brothers, kings from other tribes who confronted the European and fell under the European fire, are the first Pan-Africanists. So you came into captivity with that desire to fight back because you remember the lifeless body of your father at home. You left us fighting. That's why it's in you. It's in your blood to resist. Even when they strip you off of everything, you say, no, I'm going to make up my own names. Shaniqua, Lashanda, and all that. That's the royalty in you rebelling. Okay? So we have to go back to understanding our spirituality. We are not savages that Tata Nzambe just cut loose on the earth. We came with a mission on earth. We are royalty. When you have a king, you are royalty. It means that Nzambe knows you. Nzambe has a covenant with your people. Nzambe had guidelines he gave to your ancestors. You are not a savage. So in such society, there's orders. Some of us are anointed to speak on our behalf. Others are anointed to heal us. Others are anointed to cook our delicious meals. Others are anointed to dress us nice. Others are anointed to talk to us when we're down. Others are anointed to watch our doors. Others are anointed to just bear children for us. Others are anointed to teach our children, and so on and so on. And as you heard me say, for every profession, there's an anointing to do so. Okay? Never look at what you call to do as a curse or something bad or something. You have the anointing to do that. If Nzambe sent you on earth to carry your brother's bag, you've done it successfully, and then Nzambe can upgrade your next generation, and then Nzambe can bring you to the rank of dignitary. One of your children will ascend to a throne. In Nzambe's system, kings are stripped of their divine inheritance when they abuse of their powers, when they betray Nzambe. He strips everything he gave them. Those of you watching, what is this thing, Nzambe? The gifts, eloquence, beauty, wisdom, divine protection, divine abundance. All these things are gifts. That's why I told you in a previous video, my dear children, do not compare yourself to somebody else. You don't know what is in their ancestry. You don't know what is in what spiritual inheritance they're born into. Their ancestors may have toiled and labored for generation, but Nzambe told them that there's gonna come one that's gonna pull you out of that brokenness, that's gonna make all the money that was due to you. So when you see somebody's child blossoming, making money without even trying, don't hate them. Don't go after them, because if you do, you go after an entire bloodline, and whatever gonna come for you, only you gonna be left to pick up the pieces, the consequences, if they even allow you to live to tell.
Hey! Excuse me, young lady, let me tell you something.
Why shouting?
Hello, I'm talking to you.
What?
Okay, no problem. You don't just go, it's okay.
Wait now.
Hey! Single, I've been searching. I want to mingle. Me no team marry.
Single, Ati searching. You want to mingle. Only marry.
Okay, so our people say mi barlo kukut. It means take care of the least of you. Every family has that family member who doesn't have it together. But our wisdom teaches us to take care of that one. Yes, because even him has a purpose on earth. It's foolish to think that we could be better than our forefathers. It's a way of cursing ourselves. The master taught you to disrespect Africans because they knew that spiritually you rank higher than them. So them, through their mouth, they can never curse you. So they have to teach you how to curse yourselves. Okay? Only you can curse yourself when you're of a higher rank. For those of you messing with, spell work and everything, before you strike somebody, do thorough investigation on who they are in the spirit realm. Many of you have cursed your bloodlines, trying to throw stuff at me. You need to learn. Your masters are learning a hard lesson. Everything is blowing up on their faces. Some mistakes are just irreparable. Some curses are just unremovable. So even the least of you, they're a beggar, they have nothing. You don't know who they are in the spirit realm. Okay? You never know. Your mission may be to take care of them, and as long as you do, your bank will overflow. The minute you turn your back on them, the person you thought they were nobody, you could do whatever you want, you can talk down on to just because you're blessing them, you think The minute you remove your support from them, Zambia and the ancestors remove their blessing upon you. Our people say, treat each other like it's your last day on earth with them. Because we're very peculiar people, we're important people, we're royalty. So treat each other with the respect they deserve. Because every life was created by Nzambe. So if you respect each other, you're respecting Nzambe. Alright? Address each other with the respect you owe them as a member of our divine royalty. Call each other prince, princesses, kings, queens. Call your children prince, princesses, because this is who they are. Don't mistreat them. Don't talk down onto them. Lift them up. Even when they make a mistake, don't strip them of their title. Still say, you my prince. I know the prince in you will awaken. I know the princess in you will awaken. Start building our children up. Even if you live in a hut, that's why you see a lot of African children who are these influencers. You guys go and some of you want to abuse them, you ugly, and they don't feel ugly because their parents shower them with love. That's what we do in Africa. We are taught to hold them as the baboon hold their child. That's what we are taught. My baboon is not a baboon to me. He's a prince, he's the most beautiful child. And as you love your child, also teach them boundary, that as you are important to me, other people's children view their children the same way I view you. So don't go around abusing other children, thinking that you come above them just because you are the apple of my eyes. So we need to start teaching good values to our children. Okay? Ladies, use the pillow talk to teach your husband better values, to elevate him, to make a better man out of him. Our kings, use the pillow talk time to heal your wife. Don't feed her insecurity. Point them out and tell her how valuable she is. And tell her that you love her regardless. Okay? Our mission in each other's life is to help each other grow, is to help each other heal, not feed each other's insecurity, not make monsters out of each other. Some of you destroy people and you know the person loves you, you know the person can't do without you, so you use that love to turn him or her into a monster. We are responsible. So my dear children, that concludes today's message. We have to pray for our leaders. We have to decree protection over their lives. Those of you who are high priestess of the high order, decree these things over our leaders, because a free Africa will mean free African people in the diaspora and wherever else they are in the world. We have the responsibility to help one another. Okay, so decree life upon our Monkosi, Traore, Goita, and Shianis. Okay, decree life, decree divine protection. Right, do all that good stuff. We can help each other. You a son or a daughter of a king, it's your responsibility. Our bloodlines are covenanted to heal our people, to take care of them, to protect them. So if you're a son or daughter of a king, start taking charge. Caution people around you, check them. Why are you so mad at this person? This person didn't do anything to you. Why you feel the need to compare yourself? Check people around them, be that teacher, be that leader you're born to be. Remember, we are one Africa, one people, one love. And don't forget to teach that to your children. Until next time, my beautiful and amazing children, peace in your homes, love in your heart, and always united. Okay?
It is the application, not the knowledge, that the truth becomes a part of you. May you please bow your heads. I pledge allegiance to my ancestors, my people, and Africa, Iguzuba, the empire of the sun. I ask in your favor, may the ancestors locate you. We are Amandla Abetu Togoza Bokoko na Bonku Tamaku. Makukhanye ngona phakade.